Sharon, the winds are going and the red flag warning is going as well. But first, we're actually taking you to the coast, to the Santa Monica Pier, where we're looking at an exact opposite forecast. What do we mean by that? Well, it's cooler out there, and we're also looking at cloudy conditions. So certainly not looking at the fire weather at the coast. As we zoom out a little bit, well, you won't be able to tell there, but I will tell you the clouds are making a return to the coastline along the Santa Monica Bay into the Orange County coastline as well. Long Beach right there, PV. Also looking at cloudier conditions at the moment, but a completely different story as we head inland. Take a look. We've got a red flag warning for the Antelope Valley right there for the San Bernardino and Riverside County Mountains. Not only are we under a red flag warning, but we're also looking at wind advisory. So it's windy. Humidities are low out there as well. And again, we are looking at the breezy and warm conditions, so bad combination when it comes to fire weather. In Palmdale right now, 13-mile-an-hour winds, 7-mile-an-hour winds in Riverside. And as we take you to the coast right here, 13-mile-an-hour winds in San Pedro, and moving over to South Laguna, 9-mile-an-hour winds for you there. So it is quite breezy in the higher elevations, a little windier as well. So we're watching the winds. We're also watching temperatures, of course, warmer into our inland spots. In the high desert, we're still at 80 right now. 76 in Riverside, 64 San Pedro, and 63 in Malibu this evening. And temperatures actually getting a little cooler before they warm back up again. So we're going to have more on those numbers coming up. For now, just want to point out we got up to 73 in downtown today. Average is 79. We were a few degrees below average, and record numbers 104. So not close to record numbers, and we are expecting to get cooler and then warmer. We're going to have all of those numbers coming up for you in just a little bit. Sharon, back to you.
Or paint.
Me too. I've tried.
Every time I look at somebody sketching, I just want to
Be able to do
The only thing
that.
I can do is stick figures. That's it. That's just unfortunate. An elephant can paint better than I can. and that's
Elephants
true.
can paint. Yeah,
They
I've
can
tried.
paint.
I've tried. You know, A for effort from me.
Yeah.
That's what I, but unsuccessfully. All right. You're waiting for the forecast.
Yes,
You've got
I
that
am.
look on your face. Yes.
I was
All
afraid
right.
the crickets were
I
going
have
to
nothing.
sound.
Yeah.
I have
But
nothing.
they're sounding.
I know.
I have
Rick
nothing.
doesn't want to talk about his artistic abilities
Well,
whatsoever,
I can
do you?
barely write my name. Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
Well, there we go. So you do. All right,
So.
now we know. We're all not very artistic. All right, well, let's get to the forecast. How about that? And we're talking about fog in the forecast, which seems kind of funny because at the same time, valleys. But once we get to the mountains and the high desert, that's where we're not expecting the fog. That's where we're expecting the warm numbers. And yes, we've got red flag warnings in effect. Take a look right here. Red flag warnings along with wind advisories as well. You're going to see the red on your screen indicating that red flag warning for the Antelope Valley. For the San Bernardino and Riverside County Mountains, you'll see just a little bit of a different shade of, well, red, orange. Just to say, we've got red flag warnings and wind advisories, both in effect right on top of each other in the San Bernardino and Riverside County Mountains. So with that, we are looking at windy conditions, dry conditions, and warm conditions on top of that. Additionally, you're going to see right here, Palmdale, 14-mile-an-hour sustained winds, Gorman at 16, Riverside at 9. So not too windy, but we could expect to see wind gusts maybe upwards of 30 miles an hour over the next 24 hours. So this will stay in effect through tomorrow. Temperature-wise right now, 60s, quite warm in spots like the high desert. We're at 79. The Lucerne Valley, 73, 75 in Riverside, and taking you to the coast, temperatures in the 60s, 64 in San Pedro, and 63 in Malibu. Earlier today, we made it to 73 degrees. Average is 79, so we were a few degrees below average. And, well, we're still staying below average in spots like the basin, the coast. We will see warmer temperatures inland, but again, those microclimates really starting to kick in this time of year. 60 degrees, that's for tonight. By the morning hours, we are expecting cloudy conditions out there. And by the afternoon, mostly sunny to partly sunny skies. 73 in downtown, flirting with 70 in Santa Monica. Riverside, you're at 84, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to about 86 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Palmdale, 96. Overnight low clouds and fog, that's going to be the case, well, again, into our inland valleys in some spots, the basin, the coast. Some warming for Wednesday, but we are expecting those warmer numbers to be mainly into your inland spots. Then a trough of low pressure arrives, and as it does, we're actually expecting cooler conditions as we head into the later part of the week. So with that, why don't we get a look at your 5-day forecast? And as we do, as we head to the next few days, we are expecting, again, a little bit of a warmer forecast, especially inland. Partly to mostly sunny over the next couple of days. By Wednesday, you're going to see temperatures flirting with 90. By Thursday, we're very warm. We're expecting warm temperatures by Friday and a little cooler as we head into your Saturday. As we get a look at your next 5-day forecast, you're going to see for the Basin in Orange County 70s, staying that way pretty much all week long, fluctuating just by a couple of degrees. And it looks like we have time for one more 5-day. And as we get a look at that, you're going to see a similar pattern where we're keeping temperatures much the same, fluctuating just a little bit by Friday up to 70. Of course, at the coast, we're not going to see big difference in temperature day to day, but we will see a difference in cloud cover. Mostly cloudy for the next couple of days, a mix of clouds and sun by your Thursday, a little warmer by your Friday, and by Saturday, mild and flirting with the 70s yet again. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
All right.
And we're expecting changes in the forecast. A red flag warning right now, though, and fog in the forecast as well. We'll break it all down for you coming right up. I'm kind of bummed. I thought it was spur of the moment, but that's funny. I did have that poster. All right, let's get to this, shall we? We're talking about a few things tonight. We've got, well, red flag warning. We've got foggy conditions at the coast, so it seems like an oxymoron, but we've actually got two weather patterns happening right now. The microclimate's really starting to kick in this time of year. We've got wind advisories out there as well. So let's get a look at radar. You're going to see cloudy conditions along the coast, but as we head into your inland spots, well, some of the cloud cover is going to reach into our inland valleys, but when we're talking spots like the high desert and the mountains, that's where we're looking at a different story. Hot, windy, and dry. We've got red flag warnings and wind advisories for the San Bernardino and Riverside County mountains. And for the Antelope Valley, we are looking at a red flag warning in effect through tomorrow. Wind-wise right now, windy conditions in the high desert as we head out to Riverside, about 7 miles an hour. Out to the coast, 13 miles an hour. And in Laguna, we're at about 5 miles an hour, so just a little breezy there. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s this evening, very mild, even warm. The IE right now, the 70s, 75. For Riverside, that's actually warmer than it was in downtown earlier today. So again, microclimate's really kicking in. 79's average, so we were a few degrees below average. And a very similar looking forecast as we head into tomorrow. Overnight, 60s, mid-60s, and by the afternoon, we are in the 70s and keeping things that way again, at least for the next 24 hours for the basin. Santa Monica flirting with 70, Anaheim 75, Palmdale 96, Riverside 84, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to 86 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So just to recap your weather headlines showing you overnight low clouds and fog, that's going to be the forecast, at least for the next few days, especially into our inland valleys, the basin, the coast. We will see some warming Wednesday, but that's really just going to be for our inland spots. And then as we head toward the later part of the week, a trough of low pressure arrives, and with that, we're going to see a bit of a cool down as we head toward the end of the week. And, well, we're going to have that cool down for you in your 5-day forecast in just a minute. But first, want to show you Futurecast. It's set for the overnight hours by 1:30 a.m. That fog really starting to roll in. By 4 a.m., pushing into our inland valleys, waking up to pretty gray conditions west of the foothills right there. 6:45 in the morning. By 9:30, the fog's receding back toward the coast a little bit, and by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we're still looking at patchy fog along the coast, maybe a few clouds in the basin, and mostly sunny to partly sunny conditions into most of your inland spots. You'll see that in your 5-day forecast right here. Temperature-wise, much the same for you tomorrow. 80s tomorrow for the inland valleys and, of course, the Inland Empire as well. Flirting with 90 by Wednesday. So that's when we're going to warm it up. Then we're going to cool it down just a touch as we head into your Thursday and Friday, and by your Saturday, just a little cooler. And for the Basin in Orange County, keeping things much the same tomorrow. Mix of low clouds and sunshine by the afternoon, but still talking mostly to partly sunny, warm temperatures, and keeping it a little warmer as we head into Friday. Much the same as we head into your weekend.
Very good. Thank you.
Very nice nights. Mild out there, but we've got a few things going on. We've got the hot conditions into your inland spots, but then we've got the cool and cloudier conditions along the coast, so those microclimates really starting to kick in. As we get a look outside right now, you'll see low cloud cover out there, getting a look from our Sierra cam this evening. So that low cloud cover is actually starting to span into some of our inland spots. 61 degrees. That's right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. You're going to see fog along the coast, so we're dealing with foggy conditions not only along the coast now, though, not really seeing it on radar, but as we just saw from that shot, it's starting to push into the basin and into some of our inland valleys, and that's going to continue to be the case into the overnight morning hours, and that pattern really continues through the week. So we're talking about cloudy and cool conditions at the coast, mild conditions elsewhere, and then as we take you up to the Antelope Valley, the Riverside County Mountains, and the San Bernardino County Mountains, we're dealing with red flag warnings and wind advisories as well, and those are going to be in effect through tomorrow evening. So we're looking at dry conditions, warm conditions, and windy conditions as well. in the higher elevations. Palmdale at 11 miles an hour right now. Riverside a little calmer at 6 along the coast. The sea breeze kicking up. San Pedro at 11 miles an hour. And as we take you through temperatures right now, mild and of course a little cooler at the coast, but still somewhat mild. 60s along the coast, 63 in the basin, 77 in Palmdale, and 72 in Riverside. So we made it to 73 today for downtown, and as we head into the next 24 hours, a very similar looking forecast. I will tell you temperatures getting a little warmer in some spots as we head into your Wednesday, and then cooling down a bit as we head toward the weekend. But in the basin in Orange County, we're not going to really see a big difference temperature-wise over the next couple of days. It's really the inland spots that are really going to feel sort of the difference in temperatures. We're going to get a little warmer by your Wednesday, then a little cooler as we head toward the weekend. Let's get a look at the coast, though, where temperatures are staying much the same, but cloudy conditions through Wednesday, cooler through Thursday. Your weekend, actually cloudier, but not so much cooler by your Friday. Does that make sense? Back to you. And windy conditions here in the Southland, actually looking at red flag warnings and wind advisories. We'll have the details coming up.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of people have never heard that before.
Neither
Speaking of the winds, I think they're picking up out there. Yeah?
They're picking up, especially in the higher elevations. Yeah, that's exactly right. We actually have red flag warnings in effect. We've got wind advisories in effect. But it's funny to see this because, you know, on one end, we've got really cool and cloudy conditions.
Right, yep.
And on the other end, literally, we've got fire weather.
Exactly.
So that's what you really call a microclimate forecast, and that's what we've got right here in the Southland. It's pretty amazing stuff. We're actually looking at, again, red flag warning inland, and we're looking at foggy conditions at the coast and, well, warmer to the basin, eventually into our inland valleys as well. And, well, that's going to continue to be the case over the next 24 hours. And that pattern really continuing over the next couple of days. As we get a look right here, well, your advisories. We've got red flag warnings in effect. We've got wind advisories in effect as well. You'll see in the higher elevations we are looking at that. So for the San Bernardino and Riverside County Mountains, for the Antelope Valley as well, we're looking at, well, hot conditions and, well, dry conditions, along with, of course, windy conditions as well. So let's check in with the wind speeds. You'll see 10 miles an hour for Palmdale, 5 for Riverside, 10 for San Pedro, and you'll see temperature-wise, we're in the 60s and we're in the 70s as well. 63 in downtown, a lot warmer for Palmdale. You're still sitting at 77. Riverside 71, the Lucerne Valley at 70 degrees, and earlier today downtown, we made it to 73. Few degrees below average. That'll continue to be the case as we head into the next 24 hours. 60s, eventually getting into the 70s by the afternoon hours. So temperatures in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and the 90s. So really a great example of that microclimate forecast right now. We're looking at 69 at the coast, but as we take you to the high desert, where yes, we are looking at the red flag warning as well. 96 degrees for you by tomorrow afternoon. So remember, hot, dry, and windy, bad combination for fire weather. So we're going to keep our eyes out on anything out there. Riverside 84, Woodland Hills 86 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. So warm forecast inland, of course, the coast, a little cooler overnight, low clouds and fog, but looks like the coast will stay pretty sucked in tomorrow. Then as we head into your Wednesday, a little bit of warming, but mainly into your inland spots. Then that trough of low pressure arrives, and as it does, we're expecting a bit of a cooler forecast. We'll feel the difference inland, but in the basin and at the coast, we're really not going to see a big fluctuation temperature-wise. You'll see for the valleys in the Inland Empire, 80s, and then flirting with 90 by Thursday, very warm, and staying warm by your Friday. A little cooler as we head into your Saturday. As we get a look at your next 5-day forecast for the basin in Orange County, 70s across the board, low clouds, clouds and sun, warm temperatures by Thursday, mostly sunny, mid-70s by Friday, and by Saturday, just a few clouds out there for you. And for the coast, mostly cloudy for the next couple of days. Temperatures not fluctuating much, but cloud cover. Well, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're actually expecting a little more sunshine even by Friday, squeezing out a few 70-degree readings at the coast. Susie and Lena, back to you.
Okay.
Well, at this point, Sharon, looks like it will be hot and dry, hoping not too dangerous. But of course, we've got to be alert as we head to the next 24 hours. We've got red flag warnings in effect through tomorrow evening. And as we just saw outside, there's some fog starting to move into the forecast. Radar showing you just that. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. But right now, we do want to address the red flag warnings and also the wind advisories out there. We've got a red flag warning for the Antelope Valley. Same thing for the San Bernardino and Riverside County Mountains. More on what to expect in your forecast for the week in just a little bit. Rick, back to you. Clouds and fog, and then a red flag warning in effect as well. We'll have all the details on your entire forecast coming up.
And if you had